is this Clark, this interstellar comet? Big news.
I don't see Clark.
Oh, maybe he's still sleeping.
Dad.
Some of Clark's larger fragments are now expected to enter our atmosphere.
That's right, I know.
What are they saying?
More of the same.
Whoa. Where are they going?
I don't know. When the first chunk is about to hit.
Hit?
Only part of it. It's going in the ocean.
Would you look at that? Wait, where's the explosion?
We now are getting word that the fragment has hit Central Florida.
Oh my God.
Wait, are some more pieces gonna hit?
Come on, let's go.
But the sky's on fire.
2 days. They got it all wrong. There's a ton of fragments. Planet killers.
That didn't take long.
Space agencies are predicting an extinction level event.
We're gonna be together, all right, kiddo? We're just trying to get to safety.
They've been tracking the military flights to bunkers in Greenland.
It's our only chance.
Move back!
Allison! Nathan! Allison!
Where's Dad?
We'll find him. It's okay. Clark's largest fragment will hit in less than 24 hours.
I swear, I'm gonna get my family into that bunker. I know you will, son.
If you are hearing this broadcast, seek shelter immediately.
Let me see. What's going on?
If you are hearing this broadcast, seek shelter immediately.
Hang on, Nathan.
Seek shelter immediately. Seek shelter immediately.
5G, who now is being called a victim in all of this, because somehow 5G got a disinformation campaign against it now. There were all of these internet trolls concerned about or spreading disinformation about 5G. 5G, of course, is a wonderful technology. When you're streaming your 4K movie on your cell phone, just hold it right to your brain. Just wrap some duct tape around it and hold it right to your brain, because it's completely safe. It's like sugar pills or something. It's like the grass and the smell of the river. It's not going to harm you. It's nature. It came out of nature. Doesn't anybody understand that 5G can't harm anybody? You lunatics, lunatic conspiracy theorists. 5G is completely safe. In fact, all the doctors in the world, all the scientists, all of them, they've all said it. Where have they said it? Of course they have. Of course it must be good for everybody. If you're sitting in the bus, okay, and you're watching your movie, just strap it to your heart and listen to it and see if a signal of hundreds of gigahertz flowing right into your chest cavity there to your cell phone actually affects your heart. Of course it doesn't. Of course, always trust the big tech oligarchy. They know what's best for everybody, and banning conspiracy theorists like David Icke is the best thing for this world. They're not allowed to talk. The irony of them banning David Icke at the same time as celebrating World Press Freedom Day is really classical. I mean, the potency of that irony is just a real another classic for the archives. Of course, David Icke was also deleted from Facebook. That was just the other day, May 1st. Just deleted. Has to go. Cannot have a Facebook account. Look, I mean, we have to get off all these platforms. There's no doubt about that. We have to eventually go to the blockchain. Now, here's what one person said, and this was under the title, Press F for a Fallen Hero. Here comes the Streisand effect, someone said on Reddit Conspiracy. And this person said, yeah, exactly. When Milo was banned, he got super popular. Same for Alex Jones. I mean, just check out all the engagement Milo was getting. And then he shows a Twitter profile at Nero. Account suspended. See, here's the thing that people say about the Streisand effect, which originated when, I believe, Barbara Streisand wanted to hide information about a new house she had. And the hiding of information, the calling for that information being removed, everyone wanted to know where the house was. This does not work, okay, without the support of the large institutions that are interested in finding that information. There is no Streisand effect if you're completely deleted from the internet. Sure, David Icke has his website, okay? And he was successful before at what he did before YouTube. So, sure. But it's going to be harder to find information on David Icke. Because people's brains are trained innately to use the grazing ground that they're akin to. If you're akin to always getting your information at a certain place like YouTube, you can probably continue to do that unless you are, of a different kind of person, and then you might gravitate to other platforms like I have done. So I wouldn't keep on using the term the Streisand effect, because in some cases that doesn't work. Now it will work probably in this case. Now here's just an example. So there was a video game called The Last of Us 2 which was leaked, and that information was leaked onto the internet. What happened when YouTubers were talking about the information in the leaks, which they have complete right to do? Of course they do. Of course you have the right to talk about something. But even when they talked about what the leaks were, and regarding that, they had their channels struck down, deleted, and attacked with copyright strikes. So what happened is a build happened with all these other YouTubers. And they started talking about the leaks negatively and so on and so forth. So that's the Streisand effect in motion. That's not going to work if basically there's nothing to, in cases like David Icke. David Icke has lost a large volume of his audience. There's no other way to put that. So here we are in regarding Greenland. Did it work well for the Greenland trailer, which was removed from the internet? Even removed from BitChute, by the way. What is the Greenland movie trailer? Well, it was a huge, big budget movie with Gerard Butler in it, about comets hitting the Earth, coinciding with the Atlas comet, which eventually broke up at the end of April. That was completely removed from the internet. Where's the Streisand effect around that? No one even knows what that is. If you don't know something exists because it's been deleted from the internet or deleted from the ether, you just don't know it exists. So, that's what happened to David Icke anyway. He was disappeared. There you go.
In this video, we will be asking the question whether Elon Musk is one of the good guys or one of the bad guys. Specifically getting into also him just making an anti-Illuminati video game his main profile picture for his Twitter account, as well as larger context to the extraordinary situation that, of course, the world is dealing with right now. And I think it's very fair to say that we are living in extraordinary times. A situation that looks very bleak as it's being navigated by utter bureaucratic idiots that want you to do as they say, not as they do, telling people not to be outside as they are outside congregating with their posses and armed thugs, not social distancing themselves. While other people who have ties to these mafiosos, some people call them politicians, are allowed to have their business open, while others are arrested for the horrible crime of trying to make a living. And oh yeah, the government is also just spraying bleach on everything, including beaches and including nature itself. All the while, any dialogue that goes against this new form of normal is downranked, censored, deleted, demonetized, or just straight out deleted, never to be seen again or heard from by anyone else. And with all of this, we have tech billionaire Elon Musk saying free America Now, and now also with his Twitter account singing the Star-Spangled Banner. And this is why we're going to focus on him in this video, and why recently it made me ask whether people think Elon Musk is a good guy or bad guy, which spurred this discussion, which made me do this video. Now, I think it's very fair to say that Elon Musk has been one of the few individuals pushing back against some of the insanity that the world has been dealing with, calling for people to get their, quote, goddamn freedom back, as he, of course, is comparing the shelter-in-place orders that are happening right now, quote, fascistic, and that people are being forcibly imprisoned inside of their own homes. It is also important to note here that Elon Musk, after initially announcing that his factories would be up and working again, despite lockdown orders, this order failed and they did continue to stop production in their facility in California. And in the context in all of this, we still have to point out that in March 19th of this year, Elon Musk did say that, quote, based on current trends, probably close to 0 new cases in the United States by the end of April, when specifically talking about this sickness. But one of the biggest reasons why Elon Musk has been recently in the news was after, of course, tweeting that, of course, his company's stock, Tesla's price, is too high in his opinion, which led to a sell-off of the stock and, according to some, wiped off $14 billion from his company, which he's going to be investigated for. Now, of course, this left a lot of people asking, why would Elon do this? Obviously, with that tweet, there would be consequences for it, and it's important to understand what was happening right before that, since, of course, The Daily Show previously ran a hit piece on Elon Musk being very disingenuous, as they usually are with Trevor Noah, specifically attacking him on false pretenses, saying that the only reason he wanted to end the lockdown was that his stock price would rise, since, of course, according to The Daily Show, he was one of those billionaires just caring about his wealth. You could watch this kind of careless, idiotic, low IQ, nonsensical segment if you choose. We can't play any of it here because of a copyright strike that would happen against this channel, but according to some, it was this blatant kind of attack on Elon Musk that allegedly spurred him to make this tweet. He also was previously attacked by the mainstream media for allegedly not producing and giving ventilators to hospitals, which of course was just a vicious smear by CNN that was absolutely incorrect. Elon Musk then had to provide receipts, photos, and even thank you letters from the hospitals, which he legitimately helped out. And in consideration, he's done a lot more than, of course, many of these media pundits and politicians to help out during this time of crisis. And that is important to note here. And when he's talking about opening up America, he is cautioning people to do it slowly, respectfully, and with caution, which of course is also not heard about by the mainstream media. And because of these blatant fake news smears and attacks against him that are obviously so false, this is why many people see Elon Musk in a favorable light. Because, hey, if the mainstream media attacks you, just like they do Donald Trump, you have to be doing something right, according to some people. He's also been very outspoken and blunt and honest on many eye-opening issues, and he has used symbology as a way to gesture that allegedly he is one of the good guys. One recent example of this is him recently changing his Twitter profile picture with, of course, a video game logo of the Deus Ex series, which, I kid you not, is a video game about taking down the Illuminati's plan for a world government as you're traversing FEMA camps, exposing fake news, and uncovering how there have been cyborg experiments that have created more inequality in this world. Yes, it's literally a cautionary tale of technological advancement and global elites creating false flag incidences to create order out of chaos, to enslave humanity, and to benefit themselves. This is not an exaggeration. This is literally what the video game is about. And this story gets even more stranger as, of course, the particular picture from Elon Musk's profile is from an older game where we hear this specific dialogue unfold. And I'm not kidding you, this is the actual quote from the game. Quote, "I think the government made the plague on purpose to get rid of population growth." Yeah. And in that game, the pandemic is known as the quote, Gray Death. It runs rampant across the globe. JC Denton, which Elon Musk is portraying himself as, is a government agent who discovers that the anti-terrorist coalition that he's a part of is actually trying to keep a vaccine from reaching anybody other than powerful, wealthy elites. He defects, risking his own life in the process. Ultimately, he finds out a trillionaire businessman gee, I wonder who that could be, named Bob Page, is behind everything, using both the virus and his company's stranglehold on the vaccine as a means of extorting control over society. Bob Page uses his wealth and influence to shroud all of this in a smokescreen of misinformation, which of course JC Denton uncovers and fights against. Very prophetic, to say the least.
China is on schedule to launch an orbiter and rover to Mars in July 2020 in a mission called Tianwen-1, meaning questions to heaven. While the mission goals for Tianwen-1 appear very mundane, mapping the surface and extracting soil samples, one of the questions to heaven that the Chinese are very interested in answering is, are multiple insider accounts of a German space colony that moved to Mars from Antarctica in the 1950s/1960s true? Andrew Jones from Space News explains what to expect with the Tianwen-1 mission. The Tianwen-1 orbiter will be equipped with a high-resolution camera comparable to HiRISE on board NASA's Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter. It also carries a medium-resolution camera, subsurface radar, mineralogy spectrometer, neutral and energetic particle analyzers, and a magnetometer. The orbiter will also play a relay role for the mission rover. The roughly 240 kilogram solar-powered rover is nearly twice the mass of China's U-2 lunar rovers. It will carry a ground-penetrating radar, multi-spectral camera, a laser-induced breakdown spectroscopy instrument, and payloads for detecting the climate and magnetic environment. The rover has a mission design lifetime of 3 Earth months. The rover will receive a name through a public vote closer to the launch. The Chinese orbiter and rover will provide independent data to answer many questions Chinese researchers have about Mars in terms of its ancient history and life, without relying on third parties such as NASA and the European Space Agency, which are well known to disseminate disinformation. The China National Space Administration is well aware of data from NASA's 1976 Viking mission that showed evidence of both current and ancient life on Mars. Gilbert Levin's 2 experiments conducted by twin landers both showed evidence of microscopic life on Mars. Nevertheless, his positive results were dismissed by NASA, as he explained in a 2019 article for Scientific American. On July 30, 1976, the labeled release LR returned its initial results from Mars. Amazingly, they were positive. As the experiment progressed, a total of 4 positive results, supported by 5 varied controls, streamed down from the twin Viking spacecraft landed some 4,000 miles apart. The data curves signaled the detection of microbial respiration on the red planet. The curves from Mars were similar to those produced by LR tests of soils on Earth. It seemed we had answered that ultimate question. When the Viking molecular analysis experiment failed to detect organic matter, the essence of life, however, NASA concluded that Allah had found a substance mimicking life, but not life. Inexplicably, over the 43 years since Viking, none of NASA's subsequent Mars landers has carried a life detection instrument to follow up on these exciting results. Additionally, the Viking orbiter took photos of the famous face of Mars in the Cydonia region that was analysed in depth by a number of researchers. Dr. J.J. Hurtap was among the first to bring public